episode 7 because it was the helicopter ride in the
Oh,
base.
yeah.
What was that like?
It was, well, they let us take it up, Leisha and I. So it was exhilarating. It was so much fun. It was kind of like a roller coaster ride, but better.
You joined us in episode 5, so you worked with John Stockwell, who's your first director.
No, he's great.
The thing John talks about most is how hard you punched him.
Oh, he deserved every punch that I gave him. Trust me. Trust me.
You auditioned first on tape.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because I was in Vancouver when we were auditioning, so all of the auditions were on tape, and I remember immediately thinking that you were Tasha.
Oh,
I know
really?
it didn't happen immediately, but one of the things that most intrigued me was that you were a boxer.
I am.
Okay.
I definitely get into the whole kickboxing and all that, those type of classes.
Me too, but I'm not going to fight you.
You don't want none of this, Ilene.
Okay, so John, then Angela Robinson was your next director.
Yeah. Like, she just knows what she wants, and something about her makes you know what you want.
She has incredible vision as a filmmaker. She's just a consummate filmmaker. She's one of the most naturally gifted filmmakers I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
And then there was Moises Kaufman, who did your heavy episode.
Yes, and I actually, personally, I love how the intro was shot in episode 7, and I had no idea that I was so nervous. And he was really hard on me too, but, I mean, the turnout was great, so.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful piece of filmmaking, and that Iraq sequence I thought was mighty.
Yeah, it was a tough day. But I got shot. Like, during that entire sequence, I really got shot in the leg, and my leg was so swollen.
You had just gotten the script for this episode.
Oh.
It was the first draft that you had just gotten. And the first draft of this script went through a lot of rewriting. And I remember the first draft, particularly of your love scenes with Alice, was pretty bad.
You said it.
Yeah. I underwrote it. I just said, love scene.
Yeah.
And we then all worked together, and it was very much a group process. It was like I got my writers together and I said, I need some help with this.
Yeah.
What is the explosive scene between Tasha and Alice that finally gets them in bed together? And so you got that draft, and there was some great stuff in it, but there was also some real...
Yeah, really, I don't want to say cheesy, but we also wanted to, I felt, Leisha and I, we had this conversation, we definitely did not want to make the first time that we, like, really go at it, we didn't want it to be contradictory to how slow we had taken it in the beginning.
Exactly.
So, I mean, some of the things were like, oh, come on, Tasha wouldn't be doing this. No.
There was like a lot of whipped cream and chocolate.
Yeah, and pizza. Let's not forget the pizza, Eileen. But I think what we, and Jamie Babbitt directing.
So that brings us to Jamie Babbitt, who is your 4th director, and she's great.
Yeah, she's great, and I am so glad that it was her that directed our love scene, because I personally was so nervous. I was, oh my God. She was so, like, she would always just let me know how it's done.
Yes.
Like, no, this is how it's done.
And she's really straightforward.
Yes, exactly.
And she could just talk about anything, and it's not uncomfortable.
Exactly. And she'd always go, nope, not buying it, not buying it. And she was always so demonstrative with how she directed. Like, she would even jump in the bed and say, no, Rose, this is how it's done. Okay? And it's, but I respect that about her, because she definitely would not let any false moment slide. You can tell Paige wants hers from Shane, boy.
She sure does.
How many signals do you have to throw out there before she just...
This is the first scene with Jodie in which we subtitled. This is the first time where we've done a whole conversation.
You know what, though? I never had a problem understanding what was going on, and I thought that it made it slightly more intimate.
I agree, and we debated it a lot. We talked a lot about whether we should subtitle. Marley thought we should. If there's a conversation going on in sign language, and we're at the point in the story now where that is signing reasonably well.
Yeah, but then also Jodie is still speaking.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Because in this scene, I think you'll see she doesn't speak that much.
Oh, dear.
Cute, so traditional.
Oh, shit.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. I love that you're
Are you as traditional as Tasha?
As in regards to taking it slow, yes, definitely.
I have to admit that we've never done this
would it be
before on the L-Word, and we've never actually portrayed a character with these values.
Yeah.
And people are really responding to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think it's refreshing.
I do too.
And because I don't know, we've had this conversation, but I've watched all the episodes, like before I even came on the show. And I definitely, like when I was reading it, I was like, oh, so cute. Yeah, it's definitely refreshing.
And it's, it's very real. It's another point of view, and it is a point of view that we haven't represented. And,
yeah.
In so many ways, Tasha's a character who represents in a lot of ways that we haven't. So this was an interesting conversation. This with Grace arrives wearing her War is Terrorism T-shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of people, they kind of will wear T-shirts without even really recognize what it is that they're representing. They just look at the shirt and it's so trendy and it's like, oh, this is cute. But it's like you really have to know what it's just like you're basically a walking slogan.
And there's this wild presumption that everybody agrees with what's on your shirt.
Yeah.
And, either you wear it out to be defiant, which is one thing, but in a setting like this, it's everybody, the conversation that these women start having is just presumes that everybody thinks that this is a bad war, that everybody is anti-war. I certainly would presume that myself in a similar situation, but it was really interesting to write a story in which there's a character whom we know doesn't share that point of view, and nobody knows she's there to begin with.
Exactly.
Couldn't even dream of it.
I just remember that there were times that Alicia and I could not keep a straight face. And I see certain moments and I'm like, oh, I remember that. No. I wonder if people think we argue too much.